Hi, Sandy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the ADK Rock and Metal channel.
Let's have a stretch.
It's having a stretch. We went a stretch. Today, what are we doing? We are talking about Metallica and the song You Must Burn. Came out in 2023 off the 72 Seasons album. This is a live performance video that we checking out, or have checked out. And obviously, Metallica have been around since 1981 when they first got together.
The biggest selling metal band of all time.
Yeah.
So much resentment in your voice.
So, we'll go through how we're going to break this one all down for you, but first, a quick word from today's video sponsor. Okay, so obviously Metallica 1981, they've been around the blocks. We haven't really done anything on the channel from from 72 Seasons. So I thought You Must Burn would be a good opportunity for us to do something about them. We have gone away, we've watched the video, we've made our own notes, and we're going to just kind of give you our thoughts about it. So I'm going to play you the first minute of the video, and then we can talk about that. So just for you at home, here's the first minute.
Here we go. This one is dedicated to them. This is from 72 Seasons. You Must Burn!
Okay, I'm going to talk about this one. So I was a huge Metallica fan. Not so much anymore. I've kind of lost interest in the band. Never got 72 Seasons when it came out. I heard Lux Eterna and I was like...
We covered that one, didn't we?
I think we may have covered that one.
You reacted on the day it came out.
I might have picked that one up on the channel.
I'm sure I've done it with you.
It wasn't really something that sort of stood out for me. And having covered off everything from like Death Magnetic and Hardwired Self-Destruct and stuff like that, when you break down Metallica's riffs, nowadays there's not really a lot of complexity in their riffs or songwriting. It's very formulaic. So I wasn't expecting much from this, and I didn't get it either, to be quite honest with you, in my opinion. So opening riff, it sounds to me like it's been left over from Hardwire sessions. It feels very familiar, the riff, like something I've heard before, so it's very close to other riffs. There is an obvious vibe of Sad But True to this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally like, I've written down, so James Hetfield has been renowned as one of the best downpickers in the world.
Probably the best.
I've written best downpicker, most boring downpicker on this song, because this is the most boring riff I've heard from Metallica in a very, very long time. Slow it down anymore, it becomes doom.
Do you think
it's just, there's nothing
Do you think they've even had to
it.
drop Sad But True from the list? Like, you can't have both of them on the same set list?
I think, yeah, or you could just double header it. I was just listening to it going...
Idea, that.
No, I understand you can't be up-tempo all the time, but when if you're going to have the spearhead of being the best metal band in the world, if you went to someone and said, Metallica, best metal band in the world, and they'd never heard Metallica and you played them this, and they were like into other metal bands, and this was the first thing they heard, they would laugh their fucking asses off. at this song, they'd be like, this isn't even metal. I don't class this as metal at all. This is rock. This is a rock track, pure and simple, in my opinion. Andy has a different opinion, I'm sure, on this one.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to do every minute of every...
I am, yeah.
Okay.
Shit,
So I won't...
minutes, isn't it? This is,
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to do from 5 minutes to 7.5 on its own, to be quite honest.
I mean, I won't say everything I've got to say in this section then, but I was surprised how much I enjoyed this. The albums you mentioned, Death Magnetic and Hardwired to Destroy, whatever it's called, I'll be honest, I haven't heard much Metallica apart from little snippets and the odd video and the odd live performance since Justice for All. I mean, fucking hell, when was that?
1988.
Yeah. So I'm not
a fan originally, weren't you?
Yeah, you know, pioneers, weren't they?
Yeah,
so I haven't really followed Metallica because they have changed styles and so I wasn't really expecting much from this, but just initially, I'll just say I really enjoyed the song. I mean, the riff that I've noted down at 40 seconds is a nice chuggy
Sad but true riff. Yeah.
Yeah.
The God that failed.
It's just sad but true.
And I liked it. So
yeah.
So it's I enjoyed the video as a whole, but we'll move on and take each point as it comes up. So
I will disagree on one thing. I think Hetfield still has it as a riff lord. There's just something about him. Any riff that comes from his hands, it's always marginally better than everyone else. And I think he is the best rhythm guitar player of all time in metal. Two things before we talk about the intro. One, this is America's most influential metal band of all time. You would not have thrash metal without them.
No, agree with that.
They're also America's biggest rock band of all time. You only have to look at the sales. Van Halen, all these bands, they're nowhere near as commercially successful as Metallica. So they transcend metal, really, don't they? And you can see that by the impressive stage design here. So you've got that ubiquitous yellow of the front cover. And they have it as a minimalist aesthetic on the circular stage, which is so impressive. You know, you have, do they call it the snake pit, where the fans are in the centre?
Yeah, they keep bringing those back in. Sometimes
I think that's a great idea. I'm with you. There's also another song on the Black Album called The God That Failed. Yeah. It's like a cross between that and Sad But True. Very easy to play. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but when we come on to the next minute, I think we'll start to see some flaws, which we'll mention.
Okay. Let's play it minutes 1 to minute 2.
Get your fire and burn all the misery. Five fingers spin my mentality. Anger on the rise as the flames grow higher. Choke on the smoke of the funeral pyre. Backfire. You will love. History will burn. Smile as it burns to the ground. The public don't want you around. Question yourself, you may love. Who's the next witch? You must burn. You must burn.
Okay, so that's the second minute of the song. For me, it kind of went a bit bluesy at this point, so we get a kind of a bluesier riff in there. Very Load Era at this point to me. Now, I was a huge Load Era fan of the band. A lot of fans kind of moved away after the Black Album. They were like, "Oh, you're losing it. You lost your fresh edge." But I actually liked Load because it showed their creative writing. So they weren't afraid to go off and do like The House That Jack Built and Poor Twisted Me and Mama Said. They really explored their roots of their personal influences. This feels like a copy job where they've just
they're covering themselves.
Yeah, and they've not done it very well. To me, it's not as creative as their Load Era writing. They're using some of their influences, but they just it almost feels like they came up with the riffs, they put them together, and they went, "Yeah, that'll do." And they put it out. They didn't actually go back and go, "Is this actually any good?" Like Lars's fills and stuff. You're like, dun, 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 and you're like, "Okay, Lars, learn another fucking drum pattern for fuck's sake. Do something better. You do the same shit all the time." By this point, we're only 2 minutes in, and I tuned out the song. I was listening to it going, I remember yawning at this point because I was like, I am so fucking bored of this. Now, the thing you got to remember for you guys is I listen to this style of music a lot. So this is really boring for me because there's no originality at all in this. There are so many better bands than this at this point. And that's why what frustrates me when they go, Metallica is this good. I'm like, they were phenomenal. But we'll talk about it when we get to this fucking Kirk Hammett solo. Originality is not their game anymore. They don't have to. I'd much rather Metallica went out as a legacy band and just did greatest hits shit and went out and did great live shows and had fun with it. I don't want them to. If this is what they're going to keep writing, I don't want to have any new material from them. But the thing is, they'll still sell stupid amounts of it because they've got such a loyal fan base. But yeah, I don't think my opinion's going to change as we get through this. But yeah, I'm probably on the opposite opinion to you guys on this one. But bluesy riff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to throw in some points throughout the whole video, so hopefully they'll marry up with your clips. But yeah, I like the. I mean, I haven't seen Metallica live shows or anything, but I like this stage setup. Although it did seem
the video's good.
Yeah, it was well shot and well put together. But they did seem so. I mean, it was a vast playing area. But there just seemed to be no interaction between each other. You know, on stage, you kind of. At least go near your bandmates on occasion, but they're all on different.
I think Rob goes to the crowd mode, doesn't he? Rob and
Kirk do a little bit. Rob does the interacting more than anyone else. The other guys just do their own thing.
So I like the stage setup, but with that you've got no interaction between the band members. But if that's how Metallica perform live nowadays, then so be it. But
yeah. Kirk,
did you listen to the bum notes? 1 minute 25 to 1 minute 32. He really does not nail the vocals. He tries to go up. Oh fucking hell! It's
with James Hetfield's vocals nowadays.
He's forgotten how to sing, hasn't he? Really,
he still does his range work, but he's just not a great. And I don't think he's as focused about trying to nail them as much anymore. So
you can tell. But that's it made me cringe when I heard that part. But yeah, it's I'm like you. I already know. I mean, I did actually review the album when it came out. Guess what score I gave it?
6 out of 10.
And they actually got a 7 because I liked the last third of it. But yeah, I don't remember this song from when I reviewed it. So
it feels a very lackluster one. Which fair enough.
Set but 3 part 2, basically, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, let's play minutes 2 to 3. Let's do it. Okay, so the only thing I've got to say about this one is adding Rob's on backing vocals added some weight to the vocals. That's the only thing I can say that changed for me on the opinion, was at least with Rob coming in, added some of his low-end vocal delivery, it added a bit more kick to the vocals, and that helped.
I thought his vocals were really, really good. Like, so I'm not familiar with this era of Metallica, and obviously, how do you say his surname, Kirk? Is it Trujillo, something like that?
Trujillo, yeah.
Or whatever, that. What I was going to say at this point is, when I have seen him perform live, and in videos, and in his days in Suicidal Tendency, the old bass has come up.
Yeah.
He was very, very, played it very low back in the day, but yeah, really like the backing vocals that he contributes to this song. They're raising the mix as well. You can actually hear them. He's not just sort of they're not just sort of low and behind Hetfields, but they are there, and they are really good in my opinion.
Yeah, it's still quite a muscular song. It's got a groove to it, but I'm with you, Dave. Like the fill Dun, 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 dun. It's like you've
We've
heard
heard
it so
four,
many
Mike.
times.
2 to 3.
Yeah, it's just,
We're getting close to that section now.
It's just formulaic.
That's the next bit where we talk about drum fills. Yeah.
Basically, there's not much to say at this point.
Okay. So let's do minutes 3 to 4.
Question yourself, you may learn. You are the witch, you must burn. You must burn.
Okay, so I just had big capital letters. Boring.
See, I'm still enjoying it at this point. I
would say, look, I did write this. It would have been like going back to 1981 and watching King Crimson at this point. That's what it reminded me of. King Crimson.
Well,
This section, I was like, this could be King Crimson, like early. I mean, they are getting their early influences.
That's always a compliment. If anyone gets compared to them, any band would take that as a compliment.
But it's 40 years later, and you're playing me something I could hear in 1980s by the sounds of it. Lars is absolutely obsessed, and you pick this up with his drum fills, but his drum fills that follow the guitar line. I'm like, stop it!
Yeah.
Learn to do something more fucking interesting, Lars.
is that the bit he's doing at sort of 3.5 minutes on the drum that's between his legs, and he's leaning back, and I thought, well, that's not a good style, surely. Not being a drummer, that looked very uncomfortable and not.
But they've done this on the last 3 albums. They keep doing these drum fills where he decides that he's going to accent the guitar riff, and they do this stop. So, what's the one? It's like
they use it here, don't they, to modulate to that Black Sabbath hot
They
touch.
do. So to do that change there, and they did it on. Oh Christ! It was a song on a couple of albums back, but at least when they did it on like the last one, where he did these kind of punctuation dynamics on the snare, it built into a good part of the song, and the song was a good song overall. It had some nice changes. This one, I was just like, you're rehashing the same stuff. It's like they've lost any sense of originality as a band. They are just literally going back to the back catalogue of old riffs and stuff like that, and maybe they've forgotten what they've written. When someone goes, that sounds like Sabbath Tree. What's Sabbath Tree? You know that song you go, this is Sabbath Tree. Oh yeah, shit, we have written that riff before. Let's just modulate it slightly and that'll be fun, we'll rehash it. But the problem is, what if you're Metallica, where do you go? Do you go back and start trying to do Master of Puppets riffs? They did that, a little bit of that on Hardwired to Self-Destruct, they did it. But usually what that happens is that means Lars punches up the tempo and they do a bit more open chords with a little bit of tripling. And if they do tripling, it ain't riffs, it's single note.
He's the best at that.
It's
Field's the best at that as well. You know, like when you listen to Damage Incorporated, that mid riff to that song from Master of Puppets, the way that he does that alternate palm muting to this day is the best technique I've ever heard for that. It's fucking amazing. So he can still do that, obviously. He can do that in his sleep. I think that's what you're saying, aren't you? He's like
just, I'm not hearing it. I want to hear like I want to hear some riffage. I don't want to hear.
There's a real homage to Black Sabbath.
I don't want to hear E-string triplets. I'm sick of hearing E-string triplets.
Even though he's the best in the world at that,
he can do it easily, but it's still pretty.
He does look cool though. How does he hold his guitar so long?
But he doesn't need to do it. I mean, he can do what he like. I mean, he's got enough money. He doesn't have to.
I don't think it's about money. He's an artist. It's about integrity, isn't it?
But then there is no artistic integrity on the new stuff because it's not that artistically well written.
If he's enjoying himself,
if it's what he wants to put out, that's fine. But there's a reason why a lot of the earlier Metallica fans have just never come back. Now there is the die-hard loyal fans that will never go away, no matter what they put out, and they will always do it. But they go a lot of those. I wonder if they'd be as happy at going to a Metallica concert where they only play things off the last 3 albums.
Fuck no. I mean, I just want.
Well, no, but it's my band. I'll go to.
I would just want the first 5 albums. I think they're amazing albums. But after that, it's easy to lose interest. Although I didn't mind hard way to self-destruct because, as you said, they went in a bit more of a
There was some nice stuff on
Master
it.
of Puppets.
Death Magnetic.
Spit out the bone. What a song
And
that
Death
is.
Magnetic with, I actually liked Unforgiven 3. That was a great, the 3 Unforgiven songs were great.
Yeah, there's some...
So there is some really nice. I just wasn't impressed by this song. I think they've written so much other better ones.
It made me realise it's not a metal song, like you said. This is just a hard rock song.
Tracks, let's do minute 4 to minute 5.
In the heat of the night, in the moon shining light, feed the appetite. In the heat of the night, in the moon shining light, feed the appetite.
Okay, so before we get to the solo section, which is from minute 5 onwards, and we'll play that one to the end and then just do a kind of wrap up. But the only thing I wrote here was there was a nice guitar interlude in this one. Rob is good at doing the backing vocals again through this section. But I actually wrote this thing where going, I wonder if Rob ever thinks like, what the fuck am I doing here sometimes after all this? Because when he joined the band, obviously the longest serving bass player now out of all of them, joined them when they were a basically still thrash band coming off. They'd done the load era.
They weren't a thrash band, but they unloaded.
But they were still one of the big, and now they're doing sort of stuff that he's just meandering this stuff out. I mean, he still goes off and does projects with, he's still in Infectious Grooves he's still in.
Yeah.
And I think is he still filling it on Suicidal Tendencies at the moment? I don't know I know he's doing Infectious Grooves though, but he's still at, Suicidal Tendencies, his son, Ty.
Yeah,
he's doing that, isn't he?
Ben Wyman from Dangers in them now, and Dave Lombardo.
But yeah, nothing really to put in that one. If you've got nothing less, should we do the ending? Do the 5?
Nothing to add, but
let's do the last. Let's play from minutes 5 to 7.5 minutes for you at home. We'll take a breather.
You Must Bone from 72 Seasons. Thank you, Mexico City.
Okay, there we go. So that is the end of the song. We've got the solo in there, which is the main kind of bit. I'm just going to say it's a typical Kirk Hammett solo. It's, if you actually listen to some of the sections, you can actually hear the passages of that solo from other songs. He actually uses solos he's used on other tracks in this solo.
Could just be from the Black Album, this solo.
There are literally solos, because he's done a lot of solos, but it's just, wow. I'm like, oh, God. At that point, when it got into the solo, I went, can this just be over, please? I really want this song to end. And I tuned out completely by the end of it. I'm like, I looked at the time bar at this point, and I'm going, come on, just get over it. I can finish this.
I'm just thinking, take your foot off the fucking wah-wah pedal for once.
Yeah.
Bud shitless. I've heard that solo so many times, right? I have been admonished in the past. I remember saying to a former guitar teacher, I think Kirk Hammett's overrated. You know, a lot of it's pentatonic. And he absolutely bollocked me. He said, not at all. Listen to Ride the Lightning. And I also said it recently again to a virtuoso guitar player, and even he bollocked me as well. He's like, no way, he's incredible. So am I getting this wrong? But
no, you're not.
He's not at the same standard as someone like, you know, Joe Satriani or Steve Vai. He's just playing the same fucking...
Kirk is very good at what he does. And that's what Dave Mustaine said. Is he goes, he plays good solos within his ability. I love that from Dave Mustaine. It's like, you're really good for being shit. But
I mean, like, compare him to Dimebag Darrell.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, they're not in the same league.
I mean, you watch, I love watching, like, in the studio videos where they do, like, the makings of, and you watch him doing his solos, and you can see, like, Lars and people cringing, going, oh, fucking hell.
It's the same one again.
He's doing the same one, or he's just off key, and you're like, but you're meant to be one of the best thrash metal guitarist out there. I'm like,
well, he is,
no.
But he's just not interesting.
He's one of the highest rated.
Yeah.
But when you actually look at technical ability, you've got him, probably Kerry King below somewhere, because Kerry King just basically just there's no real.
Well, actually, compare it, Marty Friedman in Megadeth.
So much higher.
Exactly.
Because he understands.
He's in a different
technique.
galaxy.
He understands actual technique.
Marty Friedman is just on another level compared to Kirk Hammett.
But any other final thoughts? Go ahead.
My final thoughts are,
I love that solo. It was brilliant.
yeah, I did. I did enjoy the solo because it wasn't showboaty. It wasn't extravagant. What's wrong with doing a solo that complements a song as opposed to perform at the very peak of your musical talent?
I think it's
Stop
because
using the wah-wah
it's the wah-wah pedal, and it's the same solos he's used.
But
before.
you said earlier, maybe they're forgetting the format of some of their earlier songs because they're so
not an excuse.
So old.
If you're the
and
best,
there's only so many notes in the.
But you can't just go, I'll use a bit of this solo from this song and a bit of this solo from this song. Now it doesn't help if they're using the Sabatou chord riffs. They've only got four bloody chords to work between over that solo. So you're like, I can only go so far on the fretboard.
Exactly. I guarantee.
Use some melody.
You know that solo. Right. Someone correct me. I'm sure he's probably just using the C major scale. And A minor pentatonic, and E minor pentatonic. Every fucking solo seems to be the same from it.
I mean, you said about being bored from early on, and God, I need this to be over. When I finished it and I realised it was like 7.5 minutes, I didn't feel it was that long.
I was counted
you like
down.
doom metal, so you're going to like the tempo.
This is completely
I really, as a Metallica modern, more recent Metallica track, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't think much of that other video we done from this album, that Lux, whatever.
Yeah.
Lux Eterna.
I mean, maybe it's the fact that it was a live performance, and I just liked the look of it and the way they were stationed and the whole vibe of the evening.
Maybe.
As a perhaps the album track, maybe I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much, but I thought it was a good song. At some point I've written down that less is more. You've said they're simple riffs, maybe borrowed from earlier songs. They're running out of ideas.
Can we end it?
It's hard rock.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a good Metallica
We are going to
track.
ask this question. Is this a metal song?
So Gatekeeper of Metal, I'm denying this song.
Same here.
I will let it through. Gatekeeper of Rock.
Good hard rock song.
It will go through the Gatekeeper of Rock one, but there is no way I will fight anyone to the death if they try and force
This is like this is as heavy as rock music gets.
this
Before
is
it
hard
becomes
rock.
metal.
Yeah.
It's really
a
heavy rock
great
song.
hard rock track.
Yeah.
Now the problem I hear
It's
is this is the problem. So when I listen to, we've had this conversation numerous times about, we did it when we compared food to music. I live, my musical tastes are all around what Metallica's current sound is. So I listen to that sort of music day in, day out, and I hear so many better bands and better varieties of this who do it so much better than what Metallica are doing it. So when Metallica come out, I'm like, this is just a really poor version. But if you had a Doom song that I liked, I'd be like, this is really good. And you'd be like, well, this is really weak compared to all these other ones.
Yeah.
And that's where we get the thing. So when we're in my home now, this is my ring.
No, I like Metallica as a thrash band. Ride the Lightning, massive.
Yeah.
Now, this might perhaps is like a palate cleanser for me from the extreme stuff that I usually listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Fucking rocks out. We won't deny that. It's just not a metal song.
It's just not a metal song. But there you go. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on another video sometime very soon. Take care.